Mafic andesite or basalt. Yeah, I forgot everything already. Look at the green. A lot of green. I don't know what that is. I guess it, I don't know. It's pretty Mafic. It could be a, geez, I don't know. Maybe it's copper. Yeah, but it's pretty crumbly basalt flow. I forgot the ages. I got a cheat sheet. I'll have to look it up. Let's get going. Kingman Wash Road. We're going to go up the next wash. We've been up this wash. Pretty interesting wash. But let's go up the next one. I'll just point out these geologic layers here. Wilson Ridge Pluton, quartz monzonite, 14.5 million years ago. I got a cheat sheet this time. Wilson Ridge 13.5 to 12.5. Now that black right there is the upper Mount Davis basalts. And, well, we'll just call it basalt, the black. Above that, all the way around here, the brown is the Hoover Dam tuff. It's a diacidic ash flow. Yeah, that brown stuff's an ash flow that's right in the middle of the Hoover Dam Black Canyon. And that's the stuff that started leaking once they started filling Lake Mead. And up there's the Dacite, what do they call it? Mount Davis. It was Sugarloaf. We'll call it Dacite. Sugarloaf Dacite of 13.1 up there. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, basalt, lithified tuff, dacite. So we're back down here in the basalt. But that green is probably a, I don't know, I'd say it was copper. But here's the copperish basalt. A lot of that green intruding right here. Maybe a chlorite. Let's go with the chlorite. This green, I'd say that's just an alteration in the chlorite. Right along this contact with the Hoover Dam latite, dacitic ash flow. That's an ash flow. Come down into this basalts here. See if we can get up here. Wilson Ridge, Pluton, quartz monzonites. Wash down on them. We'll try. Let's see if we can get up here. Fortification Hill. Yeah, I'm on top of this. Geez. Well, it's the Sugarloaf. No, it's the Hoover Dam tuff. And when they started filling Lake Mead, Hoover Dam's right over there at this 1,100 foot elevation. It started leaking like a sieve, and they had to pump concrete everywhere to save the dam. And that's Muddy Creek 10 to 12 million years ago. And we'll be going up the road there to the next gully. In fact, that gully right there is where we'll be going. Sugarloaf, Dacite 13.1, Black Canyon. And there's Boulder City right over, the Boulder City Pluton up there. And there's that fossilized water table. The red right there, that was an old lake level. right there. 2,300 foot elevation. Quartz monzonites, Boulder City Pluton. Yeah, this was all a lake area at one time. Guy with his dogs. Yeah, Muddy Creek 10 to 12. Let's go up the road. Go up the next gully, that gully there. Let's go. Back down in the Black Canyon. We got a spiral here, an old Indian spiral from 1200 AD. A serpent. Let's go up this wash. Yeah, the brown here is, there's even slick inside. See how that came off a fault line right there, that slick, striated. That's the Hoover Dam tuff. Looks slightly welded there, pretty welded. Not really welded. And that's this again, the brown. And up above that's the 13.1 million Sugarloaf Dacite, Mount Davis. And here's that brace. Well, that could be the basalt again. Yeah, we're back down in maybe. Yeah, let's call this the basalt. The basalt is 13, I forget, hold on a minute. It is basalt, it's 12.7 MA. Upper, very top of the Mount Davis formation. And that 12.7, and it must have been eroding because right there is that Hoover Dam tuff of 14 million years ago. This is much older than the basalt. And it's a flow tuff somewhere. Maybe I'm still in the basalts. Although on that side is definitely the dacites. 13.1. Dacites, 13.1. I don't know if I ever did see the Hoover Dam tuff then. This is that flow, our dacite flow pushing along. Kind of neat. There's a lot of that green alteration into chloride, I'm thinking, in all these rocks from the hydrothermals, dacite breccias. Go up there. How would we get up there? There. Let's get up there. On second thought, instead of going straight up, looks like that rim kind of goes right over to the wash here. Let's go over here and backtrack. Yeah, the white rock is all Wilson Pluton from up there. 13.5 million years ago. think we can still get along there. Dacite. Dacite has more quartz than andesite, but it's almost the same. Let me get up here. Yeah, I think that's where we've got to get to, is right there and go behind these boulders. Right in there. There's our waterfall. I can't go. Yeah, right behind here. Look at that old greasewood. It's pretty big. It's been raining for a few days, a few weeks. A lot of rain. Hope there's no mountain lions back here. I forgot my mountain lion knife. Oh boy. Let me get up here. Yeah, this'll work. Get going. I wonder what somebody hit up there. Hit up here. Sometime. Old Indian campfire. A lot of this is all just modern stuff. This is quite a popular road. I've seen about 10 cars already. Although here's a mountain goat lay down. I don't want to sit there. It's full of ticks and ant lions. That was about it. Wonder if we can go up on top and come back, so I don't have to go down the way I came. Real. What is that? I have no idea. Indian headdress. Yeah. Let's see if we can go around and then follow the ridge back down. Let's go. There's where we were. No mountain lions yet. This is the Dacite float breccia, or Dacite dome breccia. Like that's a dome, Sugarloaf's Dacite dome. That's what this stuff is. Oozed out of there and came this way, I guess. Let's see if we can get up. Quite a breccia. See on this breccia here how it had hardened with after kind of pushing along crumbly, but then there was a fault through along this space here. You can see the striations on on that piece, Dacite. All this is covered in desert varnish. Get around. That's the way we could have came right up there. Okay, let's get to the top and then head that way. Yeah, I came up through there. This flow, you can see the unaltered, or the unvarnished truth here. What this dacite looks like, it's gray. This is all crumbled right out of that dacite flow. Moderately heavy, cindery. Nothing to really see in that other than some lithic. See, like that particle? I can't even remember what you call them now. Stones. Xenoliths. Yeah. Get up around. Here's the top, and then we'll go down that way. Those caves. This is the top of a dacite dome flow. And we'll be going up that wash. That's still our wash. And that's the Muddy Creek again, 10 to 12 million years ago. All that out here, there, and this sediments, I guess you call them. Debris here is that Muddy Creek. That Muddy Creek goes all the way up to the Basalt up there. There's two, well that's the older 14 million year old paint pot pluton. It's quartz monzonites that's been rusted into hematites. Then on top of that is the Muddy Creek, those muds there. And on top of that is the 5.5 million basalt flows. There's like 50 separate basalt flows across that Muddy Creek up there, which is down here. I don't know how I got up there. Go down along here. A couple of ravens come to play. I saw them parked down by my car. They just flew right over my head here. Now oh, there they come. See if they attack me again. They ain't gonna attack when I'm looking at them. Easy peasy. Come down here and we'll get back in the wash, but look at all the milkweed here. This is what monolarks eat, I think. Some sort of milkweed vetch. We got a skull here. Looks like a coyote, I would guess. It's got his canines. Oops. And over here is his jaws. One jaw. two jaws. Okay, let's go. There's our Dacite, 13.1, and this is 10 to 12 million years ago, so right there would probably be 12 million years ago. Oh, there's some markers up this one. Let's go up this one for a minute, then we'll see how. There's not a lot to see in mud sediments, I don't think. We'll find out. Somebody marked this as being interesting, maybe. Yeah. 12 million years ago, 13.1. And then we could even be getting into the 12.7 basalts again. Nothing. They like these black rocks, I guess. Yeah, this is a very popular road. Probably 100 cars a day go down it on the weekend. Well, here's where you can see the, I'm going to call this, because we're so far this way, the basalts of 12.7. Then you can see the sediments. They're not rounded, and they're kind of sorted. You see how they're sorted in semi-sortings. But anyway, that's resting right on this basalt. Right on it. Oh, somebody sat down to have a cig and forgot they got it out of their pocket. Is that a vapor or something? I don't know what it is. See if it works. The lighter, not the whatever that is. No, that's been there a while. Nothing. But if he comes back, that's where it'll be. Okay. Back to this boring sediments. Wilson Ridge, Pluton, probably Patsy Cline, volcanics. Although that fools me all the time. What is this? Somebody bring that? Somebody brought that up here. There's no shells in this that I know of. There's no cigarette lighters in it either. Okay, let's get around and go up. I would imagine these are desert wash, just like this, deposits in a stream channel like this. You got your volcanic, porphyry. But then all the white is the Wilson Pluton of 13.5 million years ago. Pluton and a lot of volcanics. Well, we've been up to the volcanics looking for the Peach Springs ash, seeing if there was any ash layers up there. But we didn't see any. Nobody said there would be. see how it's sorted. Real rough, which means real steep. Not so rough would be the not so steep. So you have a alluvial fan that builds up, and gets higher and higher lower slopes until something cuts it or moves off to the side of it. And then it really starts carrying stuff at a higher slope. Desert alluvial fans meandering off of them. Maybe. Probably just like this. I think I see some donkey tracks here. There's a lot of donkeys over in Kingman Wash at Lake Mead. Fairly well sorted, but not rounded at all. Not rounded at all. Like this stuff. Not rounded. Gotta change the color up here. You can see how thick these sediments are. They go all the way up to the top up there. Of course, they got a slope to them. Now the slope, I wasn't noticing. I just figured the slope was the same as the channel here. But now you can see these have all broken off and are at all different angles. But that would be the main slope. I don't know, going that way. Yeah, all of these layers have the same dip that way. Uh, 12 million years ago. Yeah, these have all been tilted from the Colorado extensional corridor. Mid-Miocene to the 10 million years ago, probably quit. So these are younger than 10 million, 10 to 12. And they've all been normal faulted, extensional faulting. You think they'd be going into the extension. No, these go the opposite. The mountain lions. Cat claw. Yeah. Could be a mountain lion. Oh, jeez. Well, we made it to the end. Wilson Pluton, quartz monzonite, and then volcanics, Patsy mine, and then back down into the mostly Wilson Ridge Pluton. Goat got to here and quit too. All that for that. Okay. Yeah, here's some burrows. Burrows come out this way too. Here. I wonder if that goes through. I doubt it, but There's our old friend, the blue Rhyodacite. I think it's an asbestos. I think it's just a covering in the cracks. I don't think that went all the way through. Just a surface asbestos from something, I don't know. Rhyodacite.
Raven hair and ruby lips, sparks fly from her fingertips. Echoed voices in the night. She's a restless spirit.